Hi everyone. Slightly later than planned, but here we are with the Hazbin Hotel Readathon 2025 prompts and announcement. If you were with me last year, you'll know that it is super casual. You can double up, triple up, whatever you want. As long as you think it fits, it fits. I'm not going to police what fits a prompt in particular, unless it's really, really obvious and I'm like, maybe pray for a different prompt. But do what you want, basically. It's a lot of people have Thanksgiving, a lot of people are working on Christmas, and November's tiring because October's such a big reading month for many people, and December's such a busy month for many people. Why not chill? Why not read what you want? But this year, I'm going with a smaller bingo board, which is going to be the main prompts, and a second smaller bingo board, which is going to be the bonus prompts, as well as a separate board, which is going to be blank. So you can basically pick and choose whatever you want to put on there, whichever prompts you want, whether you want bonus ones, normal ones, whatever. It's your choice. Do as much or as little as you want. This is for whoever wants to just relax and have a chilled reading month. So, last year I did the songs of Hazbin Hotel from season 1, because that's all we had at the time. Season 2 is coming out just before we start, so I thought I would start with characters this year, because why not? So for this, I'm going to go through each character and each prompt, multiple prompts that go with each character. You can pick any prompt that matches the character, whatever you like. I'm trying to make it as open as possible, really. So first, for the main prompts, we have Charlie, the main character. So for this one, you can read a happy book or a book with a character who is positive, or a cinnamon roll, basically. Just bouncy and joyous. Second prompt, we're going with Alistair, the radio demon. So we're going with a book with a mostly red cover, mostly red. No, just a little bit. Or a deep south setting, because that's where the character's originally from. Or asexual rep, because canonically, Alistair is aromantic and asexual. So, or just asexual. I will double check that. Angel Dust. We're going with a taboo subject, because if you have seen it, you know why. You know why. A sarcastic character is the other option, or an animal in the story, because he has a pig called Fat Nugget. Of course, you're going to have an animal in the story. Why not? Fourth, we have Husker, who is a grumpy character. So that's one of the prompts, grumpy character. So if you want to do a grumpy sunshine romance, you go for it. A gamble. So you can do a pole pick, a pet pick, a friend pick, a wheel spin, whatever you want. Just any kind of gamble. Or a book has a bar scene or alcohol in it or on the cover. Again, if you've seen it, you know why, but he's a bartender. Then we've got Lucifer. So we're going to go with a book with angels or demons, or a book with family or found family. Doesn't really matter which one, could be both. Then we have Vaggy, where a character keeps a secret. Now, we can know this secret, as long as it's a secret from other characters. That's fine. I know that's something that's come up in previous readathons I've done. But a character is keeping a secret. It could be a small secret, it could be a big secret. Doesn't matter. A sensory disability. Now, I wasn't sure the best way of wording this, because Vaggy has one eye. So whatever disability you choose to put in there, in this as your prompt, go for it. Obviously, I was thinking visual impairment, but it doesn't actually matter. preferably good rep. Preferably. Or a romance book, because they're the main couple, Vaggie and Charlie. Then we have Adam, who we want an unlikable character in the book. A morally grey... No, we don't. Apologies, I've just skipped a bit. So we need an unlikable character. We want either maybe a mask on the cover, because he's wearing a mask the whole time, or a hero that does things that aren't necessarily heroic. So do with that what you will. Then we have Nifty, where we have an unhinged character. I mean, it's Nifty. If you know Nifty, you know why. Now we're on the morally grey love interest because she likes the bad boys. Or a sharp object on the cover because she likes to stab things. Because why not? Finally, we have the Egg Boys. And that's a free pick. Whatever you want. Just shove it in there. Whatever you want. Doesn't have to fit anything. Just whatever you're feeling. Now onto the bonus prompts. We have Blitz. This is not just Hazbin Hotel. We have expanded into the Helliverse because, obviously, Amazon has bought Helliver Boss as well. So, chances are, if you know of one, you know of the other. So, this does feature characters from Helliver Boss as well in the bonus. So, for Blitz, we have pansexual rep. We have a horse on the cover or as a main plot point. This could be any type of horse. This could be unicorns, it could be zebras, it could be centaurs, whatever. As long as they got hooves and they're horse-like, it counts. Or a character trying to be better, which covers a lot of genres and a lot of books. So really, this is probably the easiest one to use. Then we have Stolas, where the main character should be a parent, or it has a royal main character. Then we have Luna, so we want a werewolf book, or a book with grey or silver on the cover. This could be words or colours, it doesn't matter which. We have Moxie, so we want a happy marriage, a book with a happy marriage, not like horrible, depressing, but a happy one. There might be bad things happening elsewhere, but the marriage itself is good. And a book with a music link, because the character likes musicals. So we're going to go with, it could be any kind of link. It could be song, it could be lyrics, it could be musical terms, it could be the picture of an instrument on the cover. As long as it's got a music link, that's fine. Millie, an assassin or thief character. A female main character, which should be quite easy. Or a book with action scenes. Oh, my hair is horrendous. A book with action scenes, because she's badass. Then we have, back to Hazbin Hotel, we have the V's. So I've done a prompt for each V, basically. So we have a book with a TV or movie adaptation, a charismatic villain, which, if you know which one I'm talking about, you know exactly which one I'm talking about. And a book with modern references, slang, or technology. Then we have Carmilla, which only has one prompt, because certain ones, I think, the next three only have one prompt. So we have Carmilla, who we want a Latin or Latinx main character and or author. Preferably both. But, yeah. Then we have Serpentious, where we want a redemption arc. And finally, we have Emily. So we want a love triangle or a why choose. And there we go. So that's all of them. That's all of the 18 potential prompts that you might choose. I would love to know if there's any in particular you're interested in, if there's any particular books you fancy putting in there, because I'm still working on my TBR, because being ill and doing lots of readathons in October has taken it out of me. But I am so excited to see how this November goes. We were quiet last year, but it was the first one, and everyone who was there was great, you know. So hopefully we can make it fun again. I do have one or two little things I am going to put in as rules, which may potentially upset a couple of people. However, I would like to think that in general, everything's really chilled, everything's really relaxed, you know. I just want it to be a bunch of people talking about books with their friends from around the world, having a good time. Because the world's rough, and why not escape for a while? But I have waffled on long enough, and I will see you hopefully in November. I have the Discord, but I'm also going to be putting up the graphics on Instagram, so I will be popping it down below, but I don't have enough followers for linking, so I'm easy enough to find. So I will love you and leave you, and I wish you all a happy day in hell. Bye!